I am doing my wudu. I'm in my wudu. I feel that there is gas in my stomach. I feel there is gas. I'm gonna pass wind. So I say to myself, I'm gonna pass wind. Nothing comes out, for example. I don't pass wind. So I continue my wudu. We say, La, you interrupted your niyyah. Your niyyah changed now. Your niyyah was, I am doing my ablution. I'm making wudu. Right? This is my niyyah. I am making wudu for the salah. And then your niyyah changed. I am doing what? Now I am passing wind. And then I said, Wallahi tayyib, the wind went away. I'm not able to pass wind. So I continue. We say, La, you have to start over. You start over now. So we must understand that our niyyah continues throughout the act of worship. Continues through the act of worship. So when I'm making my wudu, my niyyah until I finish. طيب, what if somebody suffers from waswas? Every time he makes wudu, he said, but I interrupted my niyyah, so he starts over. But I interrupted my niyyah, then he starts over. So he ends up redoing his wudu 5 times. Some people, they might end up 50 times. He might spend an hour and a half repeating his wudu. This is a reality, by the way. There are people like this. If you haven't met, then you haven't met. But there are conditions like this. We say your interruption of the niyyah is not taken into the consideration whatsoever. Yani every time you think, I interrupted my niyyah, we say, no, you didn't. I am 100% sure I am. No, you didn't interrupt your niyyah. Because you're suffering from waswas. And since you're suffering from waswas, then it is not taken into consideration. This is the shaitan just trying to ruin you. And that's it. So you continue and you don't pay attention to it. Keep this in mind. Ya ikhwa, focus. This is extremely important. Don't let the shaitan, ya ikhwa, the shaitan comes to me every time I am, I take a shower. Every time. And I said this, almost every time. Like in my head, I think it's like 99% or 97%. If I'm making wudu, if I'm bathing, and then I want to make wudu, for example, whether before I take a shower or after I take a shower, or when I want to make the wudu, after I finish, the shaitan comes to me. You didn't make wudu. I started noticing that this is becoming a pattern. So I would repeat second time, and then comes the third time. It makes me forget. So you didn't make wudu. And then and at the third time when I'm making wudu, I remember. I'm like, oh, but I did. And then I started noticing that this is happening every single time. What do? I don't pay attention to it. But you didn't do wudu. Yes, I did. Even if I don't remember it, yes, I did. Because it's my habit. I always make wudu. If I take a shower and so on, I always make wudu. So I don't pay attention to it. And do you know what I concluded in the end? Yani what I have, yani it has become a fact for me. I have noticed over the years that I always make wudu. And the shaitan always comes to me and tells me I didn't make wudu. I always make wudu when I'm if I go to the shower or so on. Always. But the shaitan always comes to me and says you didn't make wudu. Therefore, I disregard it daily or almost daily. Therefore, the person who, when the waswas comes to you, one of the best solutions is to do what? To do what I'm doing. He comes to me. So I intentionally do it, by the way. Intentionally comes to me, says you didn't make wudu. I'm like, oh, I made wudu, because I always make wudu. And the shaitan comes to me, I know I made wudu. And I get out of the bathroom. Alhamdulillah, I get out of the shower room. Simple as that, barakallahu fikum. So don't let this, what I just said here, what Imam Ibn Baz designated here, that your niyyah has to be continuous throughout the wudu, affect your wudu. And if someone starts suffering from such a thing, ask yourself a question. How do people make wudu? Do they do what you're doing? No, they don't. Then just be like them. Yani sometimes some people, they go to the bathroom. He says, I spend every day 45 minutes each time I go to the bathroom. Doing what? Nobody spends 40 minutes. He says, well, I'm cleaning myself. If I go to the bathroom and I defecate and urinate, I clean myself for 45 minutes. Like people clean themselves for 45 seconds. 1 minute, 2 minutes, if that's a lot. 45 minutes? Get to know This is a serious problem, and you need to do what others are doing. You're not the only one in the world that knows how to make purity. La, the rest of people, their salah is also correct, their wudu is also correct, their bathing is also correct. So know that and ignore these things and just do what people do. Just do it without even thinking about it. Barakallahu fikum. Na'am.
أحسن الله إليكم. 6. The ceasing of the actions that nullify the ablution.
Na'am. Like if, for example, someone is urinating. Can you urinate and while you are urinating you're making wudu? Of course not. Urinating has to stop, or the other things that nullify the wudu have to stop first, and then you clean yourself and then you make your wudu. Naam.
أحسن الله إليكم. 7. Cleaning the private parts after using the washroom with water or clean dry objects.
Naam. So doing istinja or istijmar if you go to the bathroom, wallahi, this is a condition fine if you went to the bathroom. But if I did not urinate or defecate, this is not a condition. طيب, you can purify yourself with water, and you can purify yourself with tissues. You can purify yourself with like a clean rock, for example, back in the day, or at some places that don't have an abundance of water, they can do that, but in no less than 3 tissues, no less than 3 rocks. طيب. And this is called istijmar. Istijmar. Even if we had water, even if you had water. The Messenger ﷺ did it, and the Sahaba did it, and even if you had water and you used a tissue, for example, to clean yourself, this is allowed in Islam, and it cleans you. طيب. But what is better? What is better is that you use water. But there is no problem if you used it sometimes, tissues or something like rocks, in order to clean yourself. نعم.
وجميع أصحاب الرسول محمد منهم أبو بكر وأبو حفص عمر وكذاك عثمان